Got him. Get over that. What's up, guys? Morning. Here today at Lake Hudson in Oklahoma, and got here just a little bit after the sun came up, and so let me get this guy on hook real quick. Choke that buzzbait, but I just got here right after the sun came up, so I'm gonna start down this bank right by the boat ramp with the buzzbait, see if I can't get a couple more. I already missed 2 on the buzzbait already, so there looks like some fish in this pocket, and then we're probably gonna head upriver and try to get on some current stuff this afternoon, so stay with me. Got him. Good one. Really good one. Yes, that thing, dude. Just moved 1 pocket over. Keep throwing that buzzbait, and that's a 3.5 pounder right there. That's a toad. Just throwing a black buzzbait down these shallow banks. Right now, Lake Hudson is, you know, the middle of summer. It's August, but there's some clouds and some rain that came in over the last couple of days, and so there's a lot of current running through this lake, and some of these fish are pulling up shallow, it looks like, and feeding on top water. So I'm gonna throw this guy in the live well, and then I'm gonna get some pictures at the end of the day. Sweet, just throwing this black buzzbait again, guys, and all I'm doing is just trying to work these shallow flat pockets, and that fish came right off this little man-made pier right here, and I was just working that buzzbait nice and slow over the top of it, and that fish crushed it. Need to change out my trailer real quick. Okay, so I got re-rigged here, just throwing a black buzzbait with a horny toad on the back, all black. And what I'm doing is just casting this thing up on these flat tapering banks. And what I found in Oklahoma this summer is that a lot of these fish don't get offshore that far. A lot of big bass will stay up shallow. You can catch them on jigs and buzzbaits and stuff on these shallow banks. And it's a little bit different from what they do in Arkansas where I'm used to fishing, but it's been a pretty fun summer catching them up shallow. And when I'm fishing this buzzbait, all I'm doing is trying to look for any pieces of isolated cover. We have a stump right here. There's a little laydown up here, that little man-made pier. And I'm just covering water, moving quickly and trying to cover as much water before that sun gets up. Got him. Another good one. That fish was so shallow. That fish had to be up in like 2 feet of water, maybe a foot. Just up on this main lake flat. I'm right off the main lake now. There's a little bit of a deeper hole that runs up next to this bank, and there's a ton of shad pushed up in here and a lot of really fat bass. Look how chunky that dude is. But I'm gonna put this guy back and get another toad on here. Man, I just caught that fish. My motor's dragging on the back and my trolling mower is dragging. And I caught that fish literally almost on the bank up there. He must have been in 8 inches of water. And a lot of times in late August, when the water temperatures are still in the high 80s, low 90s, these fish will actually pull up onto these shallow flats and just roam on like isolated pieces of cover on these flats chasing bait. And it's just kind of a weird pattern that develops late in the summertime, but a lot of times you can run these flats with a crankbait and a buzzbait, catch some really big bass. So the spot I'm fishing right now is a great place to target bass when they're transitioning from their summer to their fall patterns. And the reason it's so good is because in the fall, shad are going to start migrating from the main river channel back into the creeks. And this spot right here basically sets up like a dinner table for these bass. What'll happen is that as these shad start moving from the main river channel into this pocket, they're going to get pushed up onto the shallow flat by the wind and by the current. And these bass are going to have a lot easier time ambushing these bait in 8 inches of water as opposed to 20 feet of water. And so the bass will sit right on the edge of this flat, and once a big wave of shad pulls up on this flat, they're going to start gorging on them. So check out these shallow flats in the mouth of pockets in the early fall, and you're going to catch a lot more bass. Oh my God, busting like crazy behind me. Got him. Good one. Oh my gosh, good one. On that crankbait. It's a tank. They're schooling on this flat, guys. picked up a crankbait, threw it up there. A tank just grabbed it. Oh, get up here, fish. Oh, don't jump off, fish. Yes, look at that thing right there. That's a 4-pounder. I'm gonna put this guy in a live well really quick. They're schooling here, just on this flat. They're chasing big bait. Look at that fish though. It's probably a 4.5 pounder. They're on the live well. Man, just chasing bait. I saw one kick up a shad, probably 5 inches long, and while they were busting, got another one. Another good one. I don't know how big this one is. Oh, I snagged him. What in the world? He must have swiped at it. Oh, get up here, fish. Not the most graceful way to catch a 3-pounder, but hey, I'll take it right now. There we go, look at that, next cast. Guys, I gotta get back in there. There's so many fish down there. There's a 3. Now I'm gonna release all these fish, guys, and I'm actually gonna weigh them for y'all too at the end, just so you can see what my total weight is for 5, but they're stacked up on this flat. These fish have to be in maybe a foot of water at most. Like if I go any further towards that bank, my trolling motor and the engine are dragging the bottom. So this spot sets up a lot like the last spot I showed you, and it's basically just a shallow spot leading into a creek. The main difference here is this spot's a little more subtle. All it is a tiny point that sticks off of the bank here, and that point creates a high spot with a few bigger rocks on it, and it breaks up the current and the wind a little bit more, and it's a perfect ambush spot for these bass. And it's also a spot that a lot of people don't look for because it's just so subtle. So check out spots like this on your lake using these like Navionics mapping chips, and you might find a spot that people aren't fishing in your area. So in all that excitement, I forgot to tell you guys what bait I was throwing. I was actually throwing a KVD 1.5 from Strike King in the Chartreuse black back color, and this bait dives anywhere from 2 to 5 feet deep, but I was fishing it in only about 18 inches of water, and this is one of my go-to fall baits when the fish get really shallow. And what I'll do is I'll actually throw this bait on 14 or 17 pound monofilament line, and that keeps that bait a little bit higher in the water column because that monofilament floats. And I'm upgrading the hooks on this KVD 1.5 to size 4 Gamakatsu EWG trebles. And I think it's really important to upgrade your treble hooks on all of your treble hook baits, because if you saw in this video, I had a couple of those fish that were just barely pinned in the corner of the mouth, and I was able to get them all in because I had those really sharp new treble hooks. So definitely invest in those and you're gonna put more fish in the boat. Okay guys, I'm gonna pull these fish out of here now. Okay, so this is just a little guy, probably a little 1.5 pounds. Just gonna put him back real quick. There's a little bit better one right there. Let's get a weight on this guy. There we go, 3 pounds, I think 315. Really nice fish. These fish are super chunky too. Look at those bellies. Nice fish. I'm just gonna put him back in the live well for a second so I can get a picture. It's another real nice one right there. That's probably another 3 pounder, 3 1/4. Let me weigh him. There you go, 325. It's always good to weigh your fish and make sure you're estimating them right. Just so you're not big eyeing all these bass, but another really nice, healthy bass. Put this guy in the live well. I wish I was fishing a tournament today. Look at all these beautiful bass. These are awesome. Weigh this guy. Go 335 is what I was seeing. Another 3 pounder, beautiful bass. And the last one here, here's the really good one. That is a beauty right there. Let me weigh this guy. There you go. 396, beautiful bass. So have that one little one in there, but all the rest were 3 to 4 pounders. So probably have about 15 pounds just there in that probably 20-minute stretch, 15-minute stretch catching fish. But Beautiful bass. Okay guys, I'm gonna let these guys go. Here we go. And they're off. Grab the last couple, put them back in the lake. Awesome day. Well guys, that was awesome. And I don't think I can fit any more fish catches into one video. And it's only 8 o'clock right now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna make a part 2 of this video on my day on Lake Hudson. And I'm gonna head up the river, fish some boat docks and some current breaks and show you just a few different techniques you can use on lakes like this in Oklahoma. So hope you enjoyed this part. And if you did, hit like and subscribe down below and leave any comments if you have any questions about what I was doing. I was pretty amped up here, so I may have forgot to explain a few things. So thanks for watching and we'll see you next time.